Paul's message in Galatians. Paul's message in Galatians is clear. Walking in the Spirit requires a complete reliance on God and a rejection of the notion that we can earn His favor through our own efforts. It is a life of faith, freedom, and dependence on God's grace. Galatians 4:21-30 draws on the analogy of Ishmael and Isaac, illustrates how we should look to God and walk in the Spirit. Paul emphasizes that we should not rely on the law for salvation or justification. Ishmael, born through Hagar, represents those who attempt to earn God's favor through their own efforts and adherence to the law. His eventual exclusion from the inheritance highlights the limitations and ultimate failure of this approach. This teaches us to shift our focus away from legalistic obedience and towards God's grace. Isaac, born through Sarah, embodies the fulfillment of God's promise through faith. He represents those who rely on God's grace and walk in the Spirit. His inheritance signifies the blessings bestowed upon those who trust in God's promises rather than their own works. This encourages us to look to God with faith and trust in His provision. Paul contrasts the bondage of the law, symbolized by Hagar and Mount Sinai, with the freedom of the Spirit, represented by Sarah and the heavenly Jerusalem. This comparison underscores that walking in the Spirit brings liberation from the constraints of legalism and allows us to experience the fullness of God's grace to guide and empower our lives.